Back at it again with another reaction videos to E3 showing. This time it's going to be Nintendo's press conference. Now, I was a little bit late in terms of watching it. I missed the first trailer to one of the games, and that was actually a game that I ended up rewatching the trailer from the beginning, and it caught my attention. It's called Daemon X Machina, or Cross Machina, and it looked pretty cool. Art's like aesthetically, it reminded me of like Killer 7, No More Heroes. And it seems what I always wanted to play again, like a Armored Core kind of game where it's just fast-paced robot. Maybe it almost even reminded me of Virtual to some extent. It was just giant Gundams, giant, mechs fighting an even bigger Gundam mech. And I was like, this is super cool. It's so dumb. The rock music had me pumping. It almost felt like Street Fighter, the way that, not Street Fighter, Killer Instinct's rock music was like, it was amping up. And then it just stopped at the very end of the trailer and just showed the logo. And I was like, you guys won me over. And then when I started to actually watch the trailer, the press conference, was when they showed Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Tora, the Golden City. So this is an expansion to the to kind of like the game's prequel, because in the game it's very important what happens at the beginning, and this is actually you're playing the beginning. It looks really cool. I'm always down for more story arcs. I'm actually waiting for the season pass for all the content to roll out so I could go ahead and play that, since that game had like tutorials up to, there's 10 chapters, not a spoiler, but that game had tutorials up to like the 9th chapter. And after chapter 6, every other tutorial after that was essentially a gimmick. Yeah. So everything you learned after that was just really off-putting to some players, but whatever, it was fun. I enjoyed that they showed a big part in terms of what happens in the story's prequel. So cool for that. They also showed off Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee or Pikachu. The only thing that caught my attention in terms of this trailer was that the new Pokeball has Mew inside. So if you purchase and you connect the Pokeball to the Switch game, you're able to get Mew. And I was like, damn, the game looks nice. Definitely looks way more improved. Like the world seems lively. Ho23 was watching the Nintendo Direct, the Treehouse Live afterwards, and he says that, dude, the world just looks like you're, as corny as it sounds, it feels like you're actually in the world of Pokemon, because you see Pidgey flying in and flying out. I'm like, dude, that's cool. The Pokeball caught my interest, and I think people weren't originally going to buy it. Now that they included Mew as inside the Pokeball for you to transfer into the Pokemon game, definitely helped the sales of that. They showed off a new Super Mario Party, which is cool because last year we got Mario Party 100 or 100 Mario Party or something like that for the DS, for the 3DS, and everybody was like dogging on it. Sure, it was the best of, but nobody wanted it to some extent. Everybody was kind of quejándose, like complaining about that. Why did this come out on the Switch? We got that announcement. May not have been the most exciting announcement, but it was a brand new game and it was an announcement. I think that's cool. They showed off they showed off Fire Emblem Three Houses, yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses, and that's coming out in spring. Interestingly, when I first saw it, it looked like, okay, cool, this is the first time I'm seeing Fire Emblem 3D again since the GameCube version with Pass of Radiance. It's like, at least that's, to me, that's how I interpret it. I'm like, man, this looks pretty cool, it's bringing back memories. And then when the unit got into a fight with another unit, it changed perspective entirely, where it made me feel like, damn. It's Jim C brought up a point that it reminded me of Berserk. So a Muso game where it was you and the army that you're fighting the other army, but you're still fighting the main captain or the main unit that you decided to attack. And I'm like, man, that does remind me. So now like I'm always seeing it, but it definitely looks more awesome. It looks more like you're in a war with your units. It's just not Swordman versus Lance. It's Swordman and his crew versus the Lance and his gang. You know what I'm saying? Like it actually feels a little bit more hefty. Yeah, and it looks cool. So I'm definitely gonna go home for that one. I also they showed off Fortnite for Switch. I went home and instantly downloaded. Never played Fortnite, but the fact that it's on Switch, I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. It's on the go, and my coworkers are always playing that game on the PS4. And they said, hey, now that everybody has a Switch at work, we can actually just set up like a little maybe a little match after work, and we'll all just play locally without having to, oh, there's only two PS4s, but we all have Switches, so that's even better. So I put Overcooked 2 as one of the games I was interested, only due to the fact since I was watching it with HMC, and he said, oh, this game looks fine, it's Overcooked 2 and it's popular and whatnot, and I didn't quite frankly care about it. The only reason I bring it up is because one section reminded me of Pokemon Stadium, the Lickitung adventure. That's literally the only reason I'm bringing it, just for that comment where it just seems like you're Lickitung and you're just eating the food off the conveyor belt, and this game is about making food or serving food together, to work cooperatively for a restaurant. That's all I really wanted to say. Nothing really deep into it. Starlink. So Starlink, they showed this off at the Ubisoft press conference, and I missed it, as well as Square Enix and other ones, I think. And I didn't quite understand until they explained it to me, and then I saw a trailer for it. It's kind of like how Ho23 said it's what? Oh, the name's No Man's Sky was meant to be, but a more interesting one, which to me I found that extremely funny. And I'm definitely going to be getting it for the Switch because they have Fox McCloud and the R-Wing exclusively to the Switch version. And I was always down for it. Always down for kind of like this space exploration. Everyone's going to dog on it, and it's going to say, this is what Star Fox should have been, or they're reimagining Star Fox, whatever. I think it's going to be awesome, to be frank with you guys. It's going to be amazing. Then they had like a scissor reel of games coming out. A lot of those were pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but nothing that piqued my interest until I saw Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or Dragon Ball Fighters. That's cool, although this conflicts to the game that was shown at the very end because they're both fighters. I'm like, gotta get good at both fighting games, right? But definitely Dragon Ball Fighters caught my attention a lot. Just something because everybody wanted it. I have now stopped playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on my Switch. I given up. I retired. No longer playing that game, and I was really playing for the story mode. I got up to Planet Namek, and I was fighting with Goku to beat Freezer. Cooler came in, and I'm just off rip. I suck at these arena brawlers or these just fighting games in general. So when I noticed and I saw that, like, man, I can't beat these guys, I'm just not good, I went ahead and I did, the offline training modes, or even I even went to my mentors, which I was saying, and I went to Vegeta, and I tried to like do those training courses at the Capsule Corps or wherever the hell Vegeta was at, and I tried doing the advanced moves, and I tried to just get good at it, and I was just like, you know what, I don't care, because Fighters is now on the Switch, abandoning that game, moving on, doing Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. My boy Funky Kong is there, so in case if I'm having a hard time, I'm gonna play the game to have fun, not to say I'm good just because I want to have fun. The next game that they showed off in the scissor reel, or the real fast one, was the Splatoon 2 Octo expansion. Big Splatoon fan. That's to me like my Overwatch, which is funny because then right after that they showed off something that was pretty funny. This is my kind of like competitive shooter. As crazy and as silly as that sounds, I really love it, and I get really, really competitive in terms of I want my team to be communicating. I don't want my team to just be like digging around in the corner trying to do a splatfest when we're clearly doing a ranked objective. I'm that angry army sergeant in the Splatoon comic where I'm like, you better get in there, rookie. You better do your job, pull your weight. I saw your KD ratios. I'm that guy when it comes to Splatoon. That's why if I keep losing, I'm done. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this L because I tried my very best, but my team, there's no communication, or there is nothing done on their part to either stay alive, to take steps back, and to try to push forward the objective. That just gets me upset. There's even a over here. Whatever. Anyways, moving on. The next one that they showed was Paddlin, or Paddlins, yeah, which everyone's saying it's an Overwatch clone. But I brought that up, and Ho23 also said that, yeah, but it's a little bit more deeper. It's it's like a mixture of Overwatch with deeper mechanics. As a matter of fact, his brother plays it more than Overwatch. So I'm like, that's super cool. I want to go ahead and try it. It is a free-to-play game, but currently right now the version that they have in the store, the eShop, is the Founders Edition. So it's like $30, and then you're gonna get, I assume the base pack of all the characters, and if you want to unlock skin, I assume that's what you gotta pay for, and loot boxes, and that wash, rinse, and repeat thing. So I definitely can't wait for the free version to come out, and I'm gonna get on that. They also, they showed quickly Wolfenstein 2 for the Switch. I'm getting it. I really want to get it. It's gonna come out at the end of this month, so I gotta beat Donkey Kong before that, because Wolfenstein 2, very excited. All of this was shown within like 15 minutes, because the Nintendo Direct was 45 minutes. The last 30 minutes was straight up just Smash. And Smash just looked polished. It looked improved. And it just looks like a better, overall, more cohesive game. And it is called Smash Ultimate. And it's just everybody. Everybody from the GameCube, from the... from Bra, from Melee, everybody's coming back. So Ice Climbers is coming back, Snake is coming back. Everything there was just a surprise, to the point where I'm like, that's cool and it's great. You left no character behind, and I'm sure when the game comes out, they said that you're gonna start off with these characters, and they're gonna try to make a fun, entertaining way of you to unlock every other character, because there's like close to like 60 plus characters, like 62 or something like that. That's crazy. And I'm here thinking, holy crap, they added everybody. I'm only hating on Pichu. That's it. Because it's basically the worst version of Pikachu, just cuter and more and considerably useless. That's all. That's literally my only beef against the characters coming back. But everybody came back. Bayonetta, surprise. Ryu, wow, okay. Mega Man's still in there, Pac-Man. And they went ahead and, they showed off some skill sets of Splatoon, the Inkling characters, as well as I love the Metroid series, and really there's only one character that represents the Metroid series, and that's Samus Aran. Okay, so yeah, Samus and then Zersu Samus, but still one character, nevertheless it's still the same person. At least they brought another player in it. They could have done one of the Hunter characters, but then again, no one played Metroid Prime Hunters on the DS, because no one hates himself for that much to play that game. So that was pretty cool. They announced, or they actually just put their own definitions in terms of mirror characters or copy characters or clone characters, and they call them Echo Fighters. Basically, there's Pit, and then underneath Pit, there's Pit, but with the Omega, or the Pit with the Epsilon sign, which just meant that there's just like the original characters, but it's a slight variation, so they're echoes, copy characters, clone characters, whatever. They showed off that Peach is an echo character of Daisy is an echo character of Peach. So yeah, they introduced Peach as a new character, and everything about the game just looks fun. It looks like kind of a celebration of what Smash and everything that they built up came to be and is going to be. They brought back Ice Climbers. They are keeping 8-player Smash. They're bringing back old Brawl stages for like Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong. This one with the DK rap. Donkey Kong, whatever the rap goes. I don't recall right now, but they brought everything back, and I'm like, this is a celebration. It's called Smash Ultimate, so yes, it's gonna be everything of everybody, which is just unorthodox. The fact that Sakurai never cut and didn't cut any of his children, and my assumptions is they're gonna add at least 2 more characters and be done with it, and that's cool, because right now if you have 60 characters, go ahead, start off a tournament of Ice Climbers and see who the best Nana is. You know what I'm saying? Like, just have fun with the game and celebrate the fact that this is a Smash game of what you really wanted was to keep all the old characters and new features, because I'm sure they fine-tuned people. Hey, they brought back Wolf. Everybody online was like, Wolf is the better character. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. He's back. You shouldn't complain about, oh man, they left my boy Young Link out. Young Link is there. There's 3 variations of Link: Toon, Young, and regular Link. It's a celebration. I'm not hating on it. I'm just like, that's crazy that you guys are doing this. They showed that all stages are now with Battlefield stages, so the 3 platforms, 1 on the top and 2 on the sides, as well as the Omega. All stages have that variation, so that's cool. All in all, now you're just picking the stages just for aesthetics, which is what you should pick, and have those platforms just for that extra level of combos or whatever the case may be. It was amazing. It showed great. It's going to come out December the 7th. They also showed some other key things that they said, assist trophy. They added 1 more as a Bomberman just to lightly touch on, as well as say GameCube backwards compatible controls will be available. My take on that is, as much as I do agree that it is a superior controller, I say that because that's the controller I was first exposed to, getting extremely proficient in Smash. So I by default will say that this is the superior controller. Since they are gonna make GameCube controllers backward compatible, I spoke with Hoho23 about this and said, you know what, I'm gonna grow up, and personally me, I'm just gonna mature and accept the new control schemes, which is the Switch. It's the Switch, it's the Pro controller, whichever one of those two, and I'm gonna learn to play as that, play with and using those controllers and those tools, due to the fact that, yeah, I could say, you know, I'm just gonna keep an arcade stick, but this is so different in terms of that because it's not an arcade stick, and you could argue it is, but I don't want to be carrying an arcade stick plus the USB connection cable and a GameCube controller, a Smash GameCube controller, you know, that has a Smash emblem on it. That particular version has a 10-foot cable. Please go ahead and tell me how much portable that system is. Now, everyone's just gonna dog on you, and you're gonna use that as counter arguments. Just play the game. You know, I'm gonna go in the grind. I'm gonna go in and learn the control schemes, how the control is presented to me, and I'm gonna learn how to get good with those new options. Even though, you know, the Wii U had the gamepad as well as that, but this control scheme is a lot better. And if I wanted to play somebody, you know, one-on-one, all I had to do was just bring a Pro controller, and that's it. Not bring a controller that connected to the Switch. This is USB that has a dongle popping out with a cable, you know, cola el diablo hella long, and then I have the controller. No, let's just eliminate a lot of this stuff. My fault. That's just a rant. But overall, I think their conference was amazing. They did mention that, hey, this Direct is all about 2018 and Smash. That's what they delivered, honestly speaking. They delivered on what they came to promise, which was 2018 and Smash. Similar as to Sony said, these are the 4 games that we're going to talk about and enjoy. So you can't really, me personally, I wouldn't dog on them if my expectations weren't like, they better come in with online requests, pricing, features, where's Metroid, where's Bayonetta, No More Heroes 3, or Travis Returns, excuse me, and a bunch of other games. They did it. They clearly told us it's only about what's coming this year and beyond. If they didn't include it, we can, you know, deduce the 2 options is it's going to be next year or they have another Direct. At the end of the day, Nintendo's the only company that does Direct 2 days prior to the event, and the internet goes wild. It's not a big deal. Overall, I think it was a strong showing. Some personal things that I wish that they did talk about, because in last year's Direct, I know this might sound contradicting, but in last year's Direct, they talked about Shin Megami Tensei 5. That would be a 2018 game. I thought they would show that because it's in obviously 2018 and they didn't talk about it, so maybe they have their own special Direct for that. Again, you're asking them to explain where Yoshi is, and remember that Yoshi's with the Labo, so that needs its own Direct. You're gonna also want to make sure to give time for the online. You're gonna have to explain that. You're gonna break the flow. So here it was just about games 2018, which you're gonna get soon. Sure, some of them won't finite release dates, like the Dark Souls remastered with the Solar amiibo, as well as Dragon Ball FighterZ. Sure, we didn't see dates, but we know they're coming this year. So sooner or later, we're gonna get a Direct that gives us those release dates, and then it's not a big deal. I mean, there's already too many games playing right now. Whatever. I give it a strong 9. I know I was gonna say maybe a perfect 10, but like a 9, a strong 9, due to the fact that I did wish that they at least mentioned or touched base on games that they previously spoke about, that they could at least update us on the status of it. So like, hey, Shin Megami Tensei, here's last year's trailer, but just with a new ending. You know what? I would have taken that L, because it still would have been a W, because they acknowledged that we remember what, you know, last year you guys promised, or, you know, showed off and what teased off. And remember, there's still like other stuff like Mario Kart Mobile Tour, whatever the hell that one's called, Tour no sé qué madre. That one's still available, or that one's still coming out. So remember, directs for days we're gonna get. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. E3 is done. I'm just right now catching up on extra news in terms of other companies showing trailers, like Capcom doing a collaboration, or well, with Square Enix and both of them, crossing their franchises. So yeah, it's gonna be an amazing E3, one to remember since it's all about games and we're winning. Peace.